Hi everyone. Please take your seats. The show will start in 5 minutes. Everyone, the show is about to begin.
The moon is always so bright. The moon moves Earth's tides. It's something that in the dark, it gives you light. And that is something powerful. So since I was young, I always knew I was going to have a daughter. And I always knew she was gonna be named Luna. Luna has been fighting cancer since mid-2017. We first started treatment in Guatemala. We had what we thought at the time was a successful treatment for leukemia. Nobody wants to hear your child has cancer, but it's something way more difficult when we are so close to finishing treatment and they tell you your child has relapsed. There's nothing we can do. However, they said, we can ask StJude. Oh boy, those were like the longest days ever. One day they called us and they say, okay, StJude has something for Luna, and this is not gonna cost you anything. And it was like a huge weight out of my shoulders. As soon as we stepped in the hospital, it was so amazing because StJude is a place that shows that there is good in this world. It's like a beacon of light amidst the darkness that cancer is.
StJude lo describiría como bonito y pues me ha ayudado mucho y he hecho muchos amigos nuevos. lo mejor es que los doctores me dejaron ir al colegio de aquí de StJude. Para el futuro me gustaría ser una maestra y me gusta mucho estudiar y las matemáticas porque me gustan los números.
For me, this journey with cancer has given me a totally different perspective. We experienced 2 relapses, and at this point, we don't know what's gonna happen in the future.
Yes, good job.
My dream is having her be happy, doing whatever she wants. But I always say it doesn't really matter in the end if we get 5 extra good years or if we get complete remission.
Here we go.
Because when StJude started, the success of cancer treatment for kids was really, really, really low. And now it's like an army of people working together, following the same dream, which is getting 100% success rate for curing childhood cancer. And whatever StJude discovered is shared with the world. So what they are learning from Luna's experience will become something even bigger with time. That is somehow her legacy. That's something invaluable. And I really feel grateful for it.
Muchas gracias.
All right. Well, that's 4 for 4 for new videos that I tried to find for you all. So hopefully it has a nice little new impact because we're not watching the same videos year in and year out. I did try to find some more this year, and that's adorable. I do love that they didn't add any music or anything over when she was dancing. It's just let her go. Very StJude. But thank you, Mom and Dad, for the $25 during that. I have donations hidden below the video layer just because I want that to take precedence. Can't disrupt the kids that are showing off. So I love getting new videos for that. Kind of getting a new look on things, especially as StJude gets better at what they do. Because I mean, that's the goal, is that every year it's going to get better. And as they mentioned, hopefully it's eventually 100%. I know that's kind of, I don't want to say it, it's a bit of a pipe dream to get to eventual 100%, but hey, you can hope. I mean, they got it from, for ALL from 4% to 94%, I believe. So who knows? But tonight is another night, is night 4 of 5. Real quick to show you where the polls are. This is for tomorrow. This ends after tonight. I will, when I wake up tomorrow, whatever this poll is at is what we're doing. So it's not going to be like right until the stream starts, because I have to actually make sure everything works. And for a couple of these, we don't own the game. So kind of have to buy the game and set them up. So right now in the lead with $391 is Minecraft Build Off. In second place is Repo with $185. Third place is Ale Until Tavern with $150. And fourth place is RV There Yet with $125. So there's still time to make change. I know some people wanted Repo, so if you want Repo, you're going to have to work for it. It's not going to be an easy one. I do think Minecraft is currently the winner, yes, but I'm not going to say that it can't change. I do know that there are people that are diehard on certain things, so we'll see. Just a quick reminder, there are still the trading cards, these two right here. And I did note in the Discord, and I think I said it on Tuesday, we do have the ability to get them in holographic. If you donate a total of $250 during the season, you will get these in holographic instead of in matte finish. It's like gloss, not fully matte. If you donate a total of $500 during the season, you will get these in gold. Obviously, I will reach out to you and kind of figure out what you would like, just in case maybe you don't want them gold, but maybe you want to donate the money. Who knows? So those are still there. And then the Minecraft server is still up. So that will be going, as we mentioned, until the end of May. So if you'd like to get on there. I unfortunately haven't been able to get on much this week, but for obvious reasons. But in the coming weeks, I will probably be on there more, just kind of not doing things that I've been doing for the last 3 months, building the server. Maybe I'll actually be enjoying the server for once instead of just building it. So that is there. And then we are $775 away from unlocking this, which is a 500-piece puzzle. You will get that, not me building it. You will get it if we unlock that milestone. And that is full of inspired patient art. So there's, I think, like 4 different patient arts that have been combined into that. I'm not 100% sure of the number, but there's a lot of patient art that's inspired into that. And that is a very rare occasion that they get to do something like that. So enjoy it. We have kept a copy for ourselves. So you're not getting our only copy, but we'll give one away. We only have 2. And they're very limited. Like, you had to have fundraised a certain amount to be able to get your hands on that. So it is definitely a limited commodity. Bath salts, I wish I could Zwift. Trust me. Don't torment me. I can't Zwift if I wanted to right now. Let me see. I think that is all of the notes. Unfortunately, the one ball that is here is being hidden by the 10. So rip that one. So tonight is Battlefield 4. Crowd control is on. So tonight is obviously disrupt, so you can't, with things like Punkbuster, you can't really inject code into a game to have the game changed. So it's going to be overlays. I haven't been on Zwift in 2-3 months. Medical stuff. Fun. Yeah, so disrupts only. So obviously they'll still impact me heavily. You can't change my character in game or anything like that, but you can make it so I'm very likely to die. So there's still that. I do have a crew that will be joining me tonight. I believe there's one person that still needs to hop in the squad, but they're not familiar with Battlefield, so that's kind of fair. Let me actually let you hear them so that you don't have to. Well, actually, I mean, they haven't been talking, so it's fair. It's not like you're missing anything. That's rude. That's rude. Batman's in. Okay, cool. Dad, I don't know if you were launching Battlefield. If you are, you can join the squad whenever. I believe as long as there's an open slot, you can join. I think. I could be wrong. You know what? We're gonna go to crowd control seeing so that you can actually see when things happen. An hour and 20 minutes away from the StJude lunchbox. It's already closed. Wheatley already bought it. I'm confused. What? That was yesterday, Rhett. Yeah, no, it's already over. Wheatley bought it. Yeah, so I was gonna say it shouldn't be showing. If it's showing, let me know. By the way, the pup treats should be showing correctly. I hope I fixed that. I think it should be 5 o'clock. It should be open. It should be good. But no, the next one is this one. If we hit $2,000, this one opens. So that is next. All right, server browser. This is the fun part of trying to find places to play.
Yeah, good luck.
I know. Free slots.
I was testing stuff last night.
How bad is it?
There are like 6 populated
Thank
servers,
you.
and out of them 4 were full.
Anonymous, thank you for the $50. Oh, well. If that's correct. Oh, wow. Yeah. Minecraft build-off is just going to go into outer space at this point. I don't know if anybody's going to get that back. Penguin, while I search for a server, do you want to help a pup? I'll do this, and you guys... Hey, look, I fixed the camera, too. It works immediately. It's a miracle. I can English. I can't. There's a hardcore team deathmatch, all weapons, that has 14 people in it right now.
Right, Miss.
That's 14 out of 32.
That's something.
Day. Okay.
I don't want to join a server until Turner's done with his treats. There are 4 more pup treats tonight, so if you would like to feed a pup, and of course, if you would like to do a kitten treat, that is possible. You just have to clarify, because obviously that's not a redemption that we have. So just have to kind of put it out there. Also, let me know. Game capture is probably pretty low because Penguin went ham on that yesterday. Okay, there we go.
Thank you.
Okay, well, Penguin, you want it? Redemption next year for cat treats? I can think about that. They're dangerous when you give them access to things like this. So eventually our crew here in the call will get to play. But, you know, Pup takes priority. I'm sorry. I don't make the rules. Pup makes the rules.
I mean, it only took us like 25 minutes on Tuesday.
Are we so excited?
I had a lot more to explain on Tuesday.
True.
Casper's coming.
Casper is now very interested.
It's okay. This is only for
Casper
Saturday, though.
is very upset that he is not involved. Casper's like, no, I'll help myself to this bag. Go ahead and just
No,
leave
these
it
are too
there.
fat for you.
Just no, I don't. I'm all muscle. I can bulk.
You are.
I can bulk and cut and bulk and cut. You know, we'll get there eventually. Just hey, humans, look at where I am. Look at this. I'm pristine, ready for treats. Please look. I'm right in front of the Twitch pillow. He is trying to show off. He's very, very desperate for this. Sorry, Casper. Not at the moment. You know how hard it is to get them back to a normal habit after this? Alright. Fair, Batman. That's an error from... I didn't realize that I didn't give you an update to the schedule, because blame Z. Always the answer. Blame Z.
Always.
Wow.
I
It
mean,
was on
technically
Twitter, it was everywhere else.
you were the... Well, I had DM'd Fatman directly and told him what the plan was.
Ah.
And so, yeah. Cool. And I think my dad has joined. So we have...
Thank you.
Rude. Did you guys not follow me in?
Oh, I have to click join game because it
Oh.
doesn't just pull you in because I forgot about that.
Okay. So you will join, it's just not immediately.
Eventually.
Have to remember to play. Alright, so if you're in the squad, make sure you jump in. It's 6 and 6 right now, so it's pretty good for team deathmatch.
So the rest of us will be split across the other teams.
Fatman and my dad are on my side. See, you're against us as always. It wouldn't be a Battlefield night.
Yep.
Do we have a donation for a kitten treat? No. No, okay. Oh, and Zelda tried repo. This is going to be an interesting one. All right, I'm going to go hide in the... okay. Well, you can have... I'm dead. Casper's like, I didn't move an inch. Look, I'm handsome. Such a ham. Hi, Bat Salt's on the other stream. I do love that Penguin didn't realize it was you initially when you popped up on YouTube yesterday.
Didn't know.
You didn't pronounce his name correctly.
I did that on purpose. That was the bit.
Oh.
That was the bit.
It went over my head because rude. All right, I have to remember how to play this. Gotta focus. I don't know. I don't believe her. Wheatley, did you get in?
Still loading.
Oh God. It's always one of us that has an issue every time we play.
I got kicked by Punk Buster.
Yeah, that's
Punk
a problem.
Buster is
I
an
ran
actor.
into that the last time I played.
Yep. Yes, you did.
It might be because I tapped out.
The thing that I've had people explain is if you go find the Punk Buster folder and launch the exe, it should reinstall it. Or you just go download Punk Buster, uninstall and reinstall. Why is that not showing up on my screen? Let me fix that, because that should be on my screen. I did not see that over there. Config.
Oh,
Options.
General got team balanced.
Config. Nope. Integrations. Overlays. Hey, how are you? Give me a moment. Fixing. Must Affecting queue settings? Nope. Glad to hear it.
Damn.
I am.
Don't know who I
Why?
killed.
Have to remember how to change which it's showing up on. Disrupts. Overlay and assets. Disrupts. Why have you changed? All right, we're gonna go through the setup real quick. Don't mind me, Chad. Video disrupts. Oh. Hello? Nope, you're on the wrong monitor. There we go. Yep. Hey, Barney, how's it going? I love Battlefield 4. So, you are more than welcome to join into the server that we are on if you would like to. You are always welcome to join. Voice call is kind of slightly more limited just because I have to be careful because it is a charity stream, but won't tempt you. I'm going to tempt you. I'm going to tempt you. All right. Disrupt should now be back on the correct scene. Oh, it moved me to unstack teams. That's rude. Why me in particular? Ow, I'm not good right now. I have to remember how to play. Where are you?
Well, you're on the winning team now, so.
So that's supposed to make me feel better?
Wow.
I don't know.
Ow.
Oh,
I'm
no, I
not
can't
feeling
take
like I'm
pot
winning.
shots in general.
Yeah, no, I haven't found anything better over, like, as soon as we moved away from Battlefield 4. I haven't enjoyed anything after that. 3 and 4 are the best ones. I just personally don't find any better than that. I know that's an unpopular opinion with many. But 3, hands down, is my favorite.
Yeah.
Alright, I have ran the exit.
Yeah, in worst case scenario, you download Punkbuster, have it uninstall, and then do a reinstall. Punkbuster is a pain because this is an older game.
It's broken so much.
I mean, at least it kicks people unlike Ubisoft.
No, Punkbuster does a very good job of keeping things intact.
But it's still
Why?
on single fire.
Why is Disrupts not working on Battlefield? I wonder, is Punkbuster stopping the crowd control Disrupts? Hello?
I'm a little surprised, but maybe. Okay.
So no, the capture worked. The dimming of the screen, I think it actually blocked the dimming of the screen. But the disrupt of the capture worked. I apologize, chat. We're gonna have to do some testing. This is news to me. It should work. I don't know why it's selectively choosing what's working. I agree. I don't blame you. I'm paying attention. This server is the Siege of Shanghai Team Deathmatch. It is, I think it's 32-person cap. Really?
Oh. Right. There are boosts in this game that I still have way too many of. Have 100 times XP boost.
Video. Let me go borderless, see if borderless fixes it. Do I have a fave gun? Unfortunately, not really. Part of it is because I had everything on Battlefield 3. And then I lost all my stuff on Battlefield 3, so I kind of got away from... Okay, why does that work? Okay, let's try... Okay, I think it's working now. I think it's working now. I think I fixed it. It didn't like that it was in full screen. It has to be in borderless. So I think maybe we're good now. I make zero promises, but I'm trying. So all of these deaths so far, not my fault. Not my fault, just for the record.
Uh-huh.
It works. It works. Yep, no, okay. I regret everything. It works. Troubleshooting successful. So for the reference, if you don't know what's happening, we are charity fundraising, and I have crowd control disrupts on, which means you can do this. So this is, if my ADA falters, it's not my fault. It's Pat's fault. But this is all fundraising for StJude Children's Research Hospital, so hey, if I die for that, I have to remember what I have set for. There we go. Yep. Okay. I don't want full auto. Oh boy. Yep. No. Okay. It's working. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm just gonna be here. Don't mind me. Okay. I might be dead. I think I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm 100% dead. Yeah, no, Battlefield 4...
Not supposed to do that.
No, I try not to. Battlefield 4 has not lost its touch. Battlefield 4 still looks really good. I don't know what about it has kept it looking this good, like... But it kind of really hasn't fallen apart in visuals. Ow. I'm just expecting crowd control at all times, so I'm just... SWAT is control. Thank you. Well, depending on what you have bound, I should say. Usually it's control high. Okay, I think that was just a teammate. I don't think that was... Nope. Oh. Was not prepared for that. Man, I'm going to look terrible with all of this, and I'm just totally going to blame it on crowd control, despite the fact there's going to be waves of time where there's no crowd control.
I mean, at least you're doing better than me.
Have you... Oh.
I am I uninstalled and I am in the process of reinstalling the game.
The game or Punkbuster?
Oh, well, Punkbuster.
Okay. Yeah, no, unfortunately, Punkbuster is a pain. But, I mean, we're here for 2.5 hours more, so you get time.
Yeah. Rejoining the lobby.
Or you can do what Wheatley did that one time, and play for 5 minutes, get kicked, play for 5 minutes, get kicked.
Yeah. I mean, 5 minutes would be great. I was like a minute and get kicked.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm lucky. Yeah, I think Wheatley was getting like 5 minutes at a time.
Yeah, that was happening to me too. One of the last times we played.
I do remember that. It was kind of amusing. I felt bad, but it was amusing. Tripped me out. It looked like it was actually a place. Metro? Yes, Metro is a very fun map. It gets overused, though. That's the only thing I don't like about Metro. A lot of people like using it.
Running out of ammo.
Ow. Okay, there's somebody just camping with a grenade launcher. Metro, I think, is one of the best for just... It's a very good fight. Like... As long as you don't get spawn camped, it's a really interesting tactical fight because it goes back and forth constantly. I'll eventually... I love that it made my game audio go away as well. I don't... stop it. Stop it. Ow. Ow. I swear I'm better than this. I swear.
Sometimes.
Not when I have crowd control making everything so difficult. Because the issue is, the thing that at least for me, I feel like Battlefield is a rhythm. Like, if you fall out of that rhythm,
yes,
it sucks. Absolutely.
I fully agree.
You get into a rhythm and you feel like you're doing well. You get a couple of deaths and it's like, oh, crap. So... Like
and anymore, I have to like intentionally slow down.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing in between crowd control disrupts. How did you anticipate that I saw that one too. I have literally no excuse for that one. I watched that grenade enter my face. So there's somebody camping in the middle with a grenade launcher. Never mind.
What else is new?
Oh, well, splat.
I almost revived you, Wheatley.
Oh,
Gonna try to see through the kappas here. And make zero promises being able to actually. Oh god, I'm just gonna move. I can only imagine that people coming across me when I'm just crouched in a corner, like, what the heck is he doing? Does he not know that he's playing in a live game? Yeah, no, I do. I assure you. It's just, for that, I was just in night vision. Oh my god. I'm so bad right now. Let me get a rhythm. I need like 1 or 2 kills to settle in and we'll be good again. I got nothing. I mean, granted, I did choose one of my weaker game modes. I don't do Team Deathmatch as well as Conquest because I really enjoy point captures more than just straight on, like, dogfights. But I chose what had the most people at the time. What it was yesterday. Oh, I feel like I'm about to die. Yep. It's fine. It's fine. See, we're not missing Tangia at all. Great. Glad nobody's missing Tangia. That I can't help you with that. I don't. I can't help you with headphones. Why do I have... Stop using grenade launchers! I've died like 10 times just to grenade launchers, and it's like, okay, lack of skill. Play skill. Come on. Spray and pray is not useful in this world. Come on now. Alright, I'm gonna play with the cheaty goggles for a little bit. I don't feel bad.
No!
Saw you. Let you go. Ow, ow, ow. Rude. I think somebody's trying to get me in here. Yep, absolutely. Hey now. Ow. I was about to say I got
There's
some
another
kills, and then I got killed. Wow, don't. Okay, well, Wheatley, thank you for making me not feel as bad. I appreciate that.
No problem.
I at least have the excuse of disrupts. I gotta be able. Ow. As I walk out and just take a shot to the face. Okay, I got nothing on that one. I can't. I don't have a comeback.
Oh, man.
I find that when I get into a rut, this is like the cheaty goggles here, where
Grenade launcher.
I'm sick of grenade launchers in this map, where they kind of give you a perspective of somebody being there. Does help you kind of get traction back. Arrow launch. What did you do to your battlefield for? Oh, hi. Where are you?
To be fair, I'm sure most people don't do anything to their battlefield for it just breaks.
True. All right, chat. Reminder, you're slowly closing in on unlocking that puzzle, which, as I mentioned, very limited. Don't use a grenade launcher. Wimpy. Okay, well,
But
no.
there's one on the map that keeps respawning.
I hate it. That doesn't make me like it anymore.
Yeah, up my game against flankers.
Ah! Finally! It's 2 in a row. It's progress. The most I've gotten in a grouping. Oh, well, thank you for adding to my night vision. With this fog green, I can't tell where that's coming from. Okay, that's better.
That's fun.
Yeah, no, green. Green is great. That's rude. Okay, alright. Well, I'm just gonna go hide for a moment. Okay, alright. This is getting excessive. Maybe they'll still be outlined. Maybe there'll still be something that I can find. There is indeed nothing when that is like that. Oh, hi. Scanning and repairing. I wish you luck. Battlefield is a very old game, so it is prone to breakage. One
dead.
shot. Alright, we're finally getting traction again. I'm about to lose it, I'm sure. Shut. Called it. Called it. Yep. Penguin has insider knowledge. She's sitting next to me. She can know exactly what to do this. She knows. She knows. For shame. For shame. Insider trading here. Oh boy. Alright. I can't even tell where I'm moving to. Oh. Okay. Alright. Somehow I got through that. Alright, we're slowly getting my rhythm. Ow. Nope. Nope.
Sorry.
Oh god.
Keep going the wrong way.
Oh boy. I don't like that I heard smoke. Smoke is a rare thing in these matches, because when there's not conquest, you're not usually mass moving. Yeah, nope, people pop smoke. Maybe they're sick of my NRVs. I mean, fair. Fair. I'm not going to scold somebody for being upset with these. They're a little nasty. Hi.
They're perfectly balanced.
Well, I mean, when we're up against grenade launchers, I have zero shame. Ow. Hey, I'm slowly moving back up. I'm 11 and 19 now. We're gaining ground. Considering that I was up against a lot of deaths to grenade
There's
launchers.
just two that are problematic on the enemy team. One at 57 and 28, and one at 42 and 15.
We try not to think about those. Because that makes you wonder if things are working as intended.
Yeah, I can't shoot through that. Woo! I played that entirely wrong.
And I get spot.
That tracks.
It happens sometimes. It's Battlefield 4.
Ow, ow, ow. Okay, there was somebody behind me. Well, should have seen that one coming.
Oh,
Also, chat, how's everybody doing
you
tonight?
found me.
I haven't actually, asked to chat. Like a good streamer does.
Wow, streamer.
You know, how bad of me. I mean, I haven't
Also, I
streamed.
figured
Oh,
out-
hi! Don't mind me reloading literally in front of your face.
Figured out the Punk Buster thing.
What was it? Or did you solve
I needed to go delete the file, and then, okay, that was an explosion, and then validate my file.
it? Cool. So you are in though, so you get to
Yeah,
enjoy
I'm
the
in.
fun.
It hasn't crashed. I've gotten 2 kills.
Hey, I mean, why did my
Something
lens
right?
just... Oh, ow, 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 ow. No, 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 no. Don't mind me.
Oh.
Running, running, running.
How are you shooting
No.
shots from that far away?
Go away. Leave me alone. What the
Okay.
heck?
I literally spawn in to a grenade.
Yeah, that happens. There's Battlefield things.
Why? Why do these people want my spot back?
No, explosives. I probably should have seen that one coming. How do you find the server? It's look for the team deathmatch on Siege of Shanghai. It's a TDM, 32 people. I can't remember the name of the server for some reason. They don't have it spamming in chat.
Nice.
Is there any like? Okay, there it is. There we go. That's what I'm.
What the heck?
Or you should be able to join on me, Barney, if you have me added as a friend. If you don't, you can add me as a friend. That'll help. Who are we shooting at?
The enemy?
Sure.
Add you as a friend? I'm in the middle of dying. I mean, living. I mean, playing. I mean, yeah. In the next death, I can if you want me to.
What
The heck was that? Ow. Okay. Where's EA?
Stay alive.
They don't have EA up anymore. Does EA close when you launch Battlefield? 32 player server. I apparently can't. Let me see. Friends. I can't add anybody. That's weird. So this is the title of the server name here. EGL Hardcore TDM Classics. I don't know if it's NA server. I don't always search by just NA. I know it's got like 130 ping, so there's a chance that it might not be. I don't think I typically lock it to that. Because mainly EU servers are the ones that are up right now. There's not many NA servers. But yeah, it doesn't let me actually add anybody right now for some reason. You can't add while you're in. Which is very weird. Awesome. It's in German. Wouldn't surprise me.
Oh.
You're probably going to be... I mean, I'm at 139. I see 179. It's all over the place. It's fine.
Let's pop.
Let's go... No more cheating sniper scope. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Ow.
One behind you, Jim Lord was. Killed me. You got him, I think. Or you didn't.
No, I died. I very much died. Very, very much died. And Barney, you are on opposing team, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Well, because it means that he's not on our team.
But that has other benefits.
I mean, he has 300 ping. You want him on your team. Oops. Panic shot. Don't mind me.
Oh, okay.
I finally got you back. Haha. I don't know if anybody has a spot.
There's some stuff back there in that back corner.
Oh.
Oh, hi.
I almost revived my teammate that I accidentally killed.
Oh, it's hardcore, isn't it? So you can. Ooh.
Yes.
Oops. So that person I accidentally just sprayed with bullets. My bad, bud.
Took all of that damage, yes.
Oops. And the best part... Oh, why did I try to scope in? The best part is they were on my squad, too, which makes it even better. Oh, Barney switched.
Yeah, that's even more obvious that they're on your team, that you shouldn't be shooting them.
We don't talk about that.
What?
You'd think I'd have learned the map layout by now. If not, ow.
Well, it's only like 10 years old now.
Okay, that doesn't mean anything. I don't play this that often.
We did for a little bit.
Yeah, not anymore. Ow.
How did I not get you?
Battlefield. That's the answer. You got killed by
He
the
was
same
focused
person
on
that
you,
killed me.
so
Yeah, it's even worse then. Man, I feel bad for Wheatley. I'm just ragging on him only tonight.
Not an ideal place
Hey,
to
that was-
spawn.
Good shot, Dad. I was distracted by the person that exploded into pieces in front of me. I was just watching across the street, and all of a sudden, somebody just dies in color in front of me. It's great. Hello? Is it because you're ping or... I mean, I'm definitely not on great ping right now in comparison either. Nowhere near yours. But... Ow! How are there 3 people around me? Somebody's just shooting off M320s left and right, and somebody still shoots me from the side. What are we doing? What are we doing? Oh, well, fine. Oh, Claymore. Oh, Team Claymore. That's unfortunate. That's real unfortunate to be Team Claymore. What team are you, Claymore?
I don't want to be here. Please.
Story of my life in Battlefield. See a pup wiggling his way down the stairs. Perk of hardcore is you can sprint without issue. Because nobody can see you pop up on a map. I feel like there's somebody below me, and I have no idea where that said person is. Also,
Yeah,
I
but
feel
I
like...
really wish I had an ammo counter to just at least know how much ammo I had left.
Oh, yeah, I did not
overall.
notice that's not a thing. That's weird. Oh, I'm sorry, Barney.
I already ran out of
Your
ammo
hits in the
once.
register? That sucks. Yeah, it's the tough thing with servers right now is there's only so many options that'll get you enough to actually have a fun time playing.
Okay.
Rude. Oh, boom, Barney. Okay. We'll probably switch servers soon, once this game is over, and we'll see what options there are. I don't like
Almost
sticking
shot
on
a
one
dead
server
body.
too much with Team Deathmatch. 'Cause then you would just end up doing the same thing over and over again, and fighting the same people. It's a little stale out there. Ow. Where were you? Were you camping? I don't think you were camping. That's cheaty. I know it's not actually, but I'm going to say it is.
Oh, are you kidding me?
No.
Peace.
Yep.
Wrong direction.
Where am I getting sniped from?
Nice. Well done, teammate. If this person is up here.
Shoot me through the gate.
Because there are holes.
Oh, okay. So there's somebody camping out on the other side. There's literally just somebody camping watching that stretch. Okay. All right. Also, chat, all of a sudden, you've started being very kind to me with crowd control. It's very concerning.
It's becoming a sniper fest.
Yeah, I do hate... That's one of the reasons I like switching out of Team Deathmatch after a little bit, because it does kind of be that people just camp out once they found a spot where they can get a good register on things. Thanks, Barney.
Oh, that's a grenade.
Rude. No, I'm not going to punish Barney. Even though he's a punk.
Where?
Oh.
I did eat that rocket directly to the face, though. So, your aim was true, just not the person you should have aimed for. Oh. Who stole that from me? Oh, hi. Hi. Excuse me? How? What? You had a PP-2000 and you think I had a scar at point blank? How did you win that fight? Yeah, I had a scar. How did you survive that? I know not all my shots hit you, but there was enough that did some damage. More than 49% worth.
What? I keep pushing when I really shouldn't.
Okay, well. I can tell that I'm alive for the moment. Nope, I can no longer tell if I'm alive.
Where?
I am no longer alive.
Nice.
Oh, I am alive. No, I'm not alive. As soon as the screen came back just a little bit, I saw the grenade in my face. Oh, that was beautiful. Well done. Well, I ate that one with my teeth. Ooh.
Okay. What the heck, man? How do you know I'm behind that?
There's a lot of ways, unfortunately. And none of them are cheating. I mean, that is an option, yes, but there is thermals and stuff like that that'll give you away. This is what I was using earlier. Great. Feel a little bad using them, but not too bad.
Woo! How does a shotgun kill from that range?
Okay, we're gonna have the battlefield shotgun discussion. That's a dangerous field to go down.
That sounds like the R6.
old, like, building hallway on the south side of the map. Get shot the entire length of the map.
Oh. Don't you remember battlefield shotguns can shoot accurately up to 100 meters? And
which
with
in some ways is actually realistic.
Yeah.
What?
I should clarify, I meant a death shot at 100 meters. Ow. Ow. Nope. Running away from the grenade launcher. Okay. Oh, I hate that one. Why, Penguin? Why? No. That's just, no.
I don't even know where I got shot from.
I feel like that a lot of times in this. We're getting close to running out in this one. Thanks for clarifying, Zola. Okay, person that's laying on the ground at the top of the stairs, please shoot 2. Don't let me take all the bullets.
Thank you.
What's your bullet sponge?
Oh my! Carpe, thank you for the $100. So as soon as this round is over, we will get some treats. 1475, chat. You're slowly moving towards the puzzle incentive. Thank you so much, though. I feel like I'm going to regret saying thank you eventually, but I say thank you now.
Yeah, sniper rifle proven.
Oh, hi. Hi. Nico is my worst enemy. I've died 11 times to this person.
I'm getting sniped at. Don't like it. Nope.
If there is one in the US, sure. That's the key, is there has to be a server in the US with enough open spots, which can be difficult.
Elevator.
You go up it?
Not on this version of this map.
No!
Yes.
No! Turn around! God, why does it have to be the person that kills me every time? There was 2 people! I mean, spotting is still useful, though. Well, I guess less so in hardcore, because it's not going to show as much.
Yeah, it doesn't actually mark, but you can get extra, like, points still, I think.
Ow. What the heck? Okay, alright. You got one. Well, you also did kill me, so I don't know if you get any points for killing team members, but you got me once. Oh, I saw you. Alright, well, that was on me. Standing out in the open.
Oh.
Not even gonna claim that one's not on me. I think it's probably to 400 is cap.
Oh.
Oh, hi. What the heck? You were shooting through a concrete wall with a shotgun? Hello? I have a lot of questions. The concrete next to me was just eroding. I don't think it was going to entirely disappear. Nice, Barney.
No.
It's just learning to compensate for the lag, right? Hi. Oh, what? Oh, hi. A lot of death around me, and none of them are because of me, and I'm not happy about that. I'm just gonna carry a light pole with me. Because I want the kills! I want to be carried. Oh, hi!
Oh, hi. Hiding down there. Alright, I'm starting to get happier with my KD again.
I'm not remotely happy with mine. I'm 22 and 43. This is very, very much... I mean, you also are not familiar with Battlefield. When I booted this up, I had 118 hours in this game. I don't have much excuses except for crowd control.
I guess 9 and 14 is pretty good. That's like...
I mean, that's not bad.
60%?
I'm at 0.5 and I keep just letting myself get burned incessantly. Oh, thanks. I'm gonna probably die again. Yep.
Yeah, I should look that way first.
The irony of you asking for that request, because that's physically impossible for me, I'm sorry. I applaud your attempt, but physically not plausible. Fun fact of the day. And I'm not even joking, unfortunately. Kinda love it if I was. Why are you shooting at me? Ow, ow, ow. What? There were two people looking the other direction down the street. Why did I get shot in the back? Hello? This is what I get for counting on my teammates.
Yep. Welcome to Battlefield.
Alright, that's that. That went well.
10 and 15, I'll take it.
They're better than I did. I don't want to talk about mine. Yeah, no, totally. Great. So it's really good. Really good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Once we get in, go ahead and hop out, and we'll go find another server. Also to try to help Barney. And so Penguin can give treats. Because we have a $100 donation to honor. We are 30% of the way to our goal as well. Exit menu. Yes. So I'm going to let Penguin take over for a second. I'm going to go run to the bathroom while she does treats, and we'll try to find another server. So let me actually, I will go ahead and get a squad open. So that if anybody wants to jump in on the squad. So I'll be right back, chat.
Casper is currently laying down in his favorite nest.
He is not moving.
He just had a... Basically, Casper is fully cuddled right now in his favorite nest. He was just dreaming and just woke up going rah, 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 before I came over here. So if I offer it and he doesn't come in camera, I'll at least go walk over the treat to him. Hi, Rice! But this one is right here and he's very excited. So let's get 1, 4. Sit. Down. Down. Trying to cheat the system. Okay. Casper, do you want one? You had yours. Casper's giving me the look of no. So let me go. I know. Oh, wait. I was just about to come bring it to him and I think he's trying to wake himself up. Casper, come here. You are so good. Casper. Okay, he woke up for you.
He's like, oh.
Sit. Good job. I'm very proud of teaching him to sit. That's hard. Good job. Oh, hey, you want to come here? You might get lucky.
Will he actually take anything, though? He's just going to stare at it.
No, don't. Leave brother alone. Nix, hurry. Nix, hurry.
Hey, Rice, how's it going?
No, don't play with it. Nix, I can only keep
Oh,
distracted
nice.
for so long.
I don't know if it'll actually let me. I might have to add you next time, but I can let you know exactly when or which server we're joining, Barney.
Success. He ate it.
That's a shocker. Good, Rice. All right. Because the squad is ironically full, so. Which is shocking. Yeah, there's like no good NA servers. There's Rush, but Rush is miserable on this. Conquest. Oh, the titles of these. All right, so I need free slots. 1 to 5 is not going to work anymore. Yeah, Rush is one of them, but I don't like Rush.
You know, if you click on the players column header, you can sort by
that would be
number
smart,
of players in the
wouldn't it?
server.
That would be smart.
That'd be too smart.
Well, the one with the questionable title is the best. So. Barney, I'm not going to say it out loud. Just look for yourself.
I like it.
I don't. It is what it is. It is listed as mature. It's not.
I mean, it is a mature rated game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's nothing I can do. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Oh boy. All right. You're down to 200. Okay. 258. Okay. Better. Let me go.
16. Let's go. And the rest of you are on the wrong team. Okay.
Okay. Who's on the wrong team?
You're 3.
See.
Yeah, that sounds like Steve's on the wrong team.
Yeah, some servers don't allow you to swap, Barney. But you're on with the So you're on a good team because C is very talented. Unfortunately, I don't want to admit it.
I have tank. Although it looks like I'm already about to lose. Considering there's 60 tickets left and dropping.
General's-
it's acceptable.
Daryl's off at his own squad.
Not intentionally.
See how it is.
I will join a new squad when I die. It auto put me in a squad, which is weird. You would think that it would put me in a squad with the people that I joined the game with, but that does not apply to Battlefield logic.
That would make too much sense, though.
Oh. Barney, you got kicked. Apparently, even 200 and some odd ping is too high. That's
I'm taking a vehicle. Oh.
That's ridiculous. You had 300 some odd ping in the last game. Hi. Oops. Sorry, Barney.
Oh, let's go.
No, I saw that one coming. I didn't have a secondary tanker.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
Sucks. Because I mean, there's so few
I'm
servers.
disappointed I died to such a
There's a
crappy
tank at
helicopter
spawn,
pilot.
General.
There's a tank here too. Oh, with critical damage. Well, that's unfortunate.
Wait, going to A.
Don't come to me because the tank's about to die. It spawned me in a tank that was
Noted.
already dying. No worries, Race. Have a good one. And I'm sorry, Barney. I don't know what to do if you can't even, if it won't let you stay with 200 and some odd ping. Like, that's going to be one of the best option servers.
Womp, 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 womp.
I don't know what I did, but we won.
You stayed in the game.
It was pretty much over when we joined.
You did absolutely dome me with an RPG, Barney. 100%. Pup, you're not getting anything else right now. You have... There's 2 left. If you beg and plead, maybe somebody else will take care of you tonight, but you gotta ask. He's doing his cat circles. Casper didn't go back to his nest. Alright, we'll continue this into the next round, so we won't swap. But chat, $50 or $25 away from 1,500 and $525 away from the unlock of this. And tonight is the last night to try to make repo happen if you want to make repo happen. But I'm not going to try to make it happen. I win if repo does not win. I'll tell you that much. Casper, are you going to try to beat? Are you beg? Beat. Yeah, beat is not the word. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, boosts are available. Battle packs. No, I have to remember there's 100% XP boost. Sure. What's up?
And confused.
Why are you
Oh,
confused?
because the countdown is still
Yeah, it
going.
hasn't actually launched yet.
Spawning on an aircraft carrier with no vehicles on a water map.
There's boats.
We got boats. How do I boat? Oh, yeah. I'm ready.
Let's go. That's a boat.
See, are we gonna stay waterbound or are we gonna? We're gonna get off somewhere.
I don't know, you're in a different boat.
Da 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 da.
I mean, do you want to follow C and Jen?
Wherever you want to go, bud. I'm ready.
All right.
Okay. Oh, we are in the ship. Okay.
I have eyes on an enemy boat. East of your location.
Oh, I got laser guided missiles.
Heliocopter.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm getting out because I can't see anything. Your cookie clicker run is still going. That's impressive. Oh, am I gonna get a kill in this screen? Oh, almost. I almost got a kill with that screen.
There's a soldier at the front of the plane.
All right, got it. Finished it afterwards, so it counts for something. 1,800, Jesus. I don't think I lasted more than like a couple weeks. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. He done did die.
Enemy boat. Anybody got rockets? I don't.
Rude. I have an M320 and that's the best I got. Oh, that's one way to do that.
That A10!
That's not what I meant to do.
That was almost amazing.
Did they take themselves out, not the boat?
Yes.
Ah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, the A10 was, they
It
just
did,
kinda...
I think, a fair amount of damage to the boat, but then immediately, well, it was almost in the water before it even shot the boat.
I don't think they understand how an A310 works. That's unfortunate. Boat on our right. Going past.
Oh!
Okay.
Ow!
Oh, the helicopter got us.
Yeah.
Casper, what are you? What are you doing?
Neutralized objective Bravo.
Casper literally just walked
Do this.
over. Ow. My. Did he jump from the desk into that? Oh my god. Yeah, attack boat is on station. You guys
Oh,
are in a
that's
bit
a
of a
boat.
spot.
Alright. Gonna need to get some anti-vehicle stuff going.
Yeah.
Objective Alpha is now ours.
I'm in a boat.
Alright, all of you.
Stay on target!
Engineer, I guess I will stick with assault so I can heal you. Peace. And you're immediately losing me.
So we're
I don't understand the flying in this at all.
Flying is
I'm
very, very difficult in Battlefield. It makes GTA look like a child's play.
Yeah.
It is. There are people that dedicate their their entire time to learning how to pilot, and I never let anybody else touch any planes.
Objective Charlie.
ouch, ouch. Thank you,
Vardy.
Yep.
Ah. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? From where? That's awesome, Barney. I never could master it well. It's not a skill set I possessed. But it's hard. Anybody who can fly a helicopter well is impressive in my book.
The ironic thing that I can fly a helicopter better in Arma 2 than I can in Battlefield 2.
That says a lot. It's insane.
I'm in danger.
Okay. All right.
He's running a hoverboat on land.
Yeah, it's a hoverboat. Or hovercraft. That's what
I'm
it's supposed to do.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I'm in the middle of nowhere with nowhere to go, but I have a place to go now.
Just neutralized objective Bravo.
Oh, that's an active ship.
Did that jet just crash?
How do I get rid of this? I don't want this anymore.
Yes, it did.
What do you have?
I had a rocket launcher, but the guy landed over here on me.
Now.
Get in the boat. Get in the helicraft. Get in the
I hit a
helicraft.
tree.
Oh, there you are.
Taking objective Echo.
I'm in.
Whee!
Oh, that's
Ow.
Objective Delta is no longer
Whee!
Damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that, Barney. Totally jumped in the way. Absolutely.
Oh god, I gotta shut my
I am
window.
first on our
Steve
team. That's a
blinded
problem.
me.
That does not bode well.
Spawn on you.
perfect.
Here's...
You got tow missile launcher around here.
I mean, I got a rocket launcher.
Yeah, but that's not a tow missile launcher.
I'm ready. I don't know who I spawned on, but I'm ready to go.
You're with me. I'm not driving, but just know that these things do overheat. Jump ship.
I'm going to D.
Objective Echo's been lost. I say again, Objective Echo has been lost.
Oh, there's one in the water.
Whee! I knocked your tree down. Oh, that's an attack boat.
Get moving.
Whee!
And a bit.
Why you dead?
Because the boat shot me dead. Goes.
See, we
How did
can
he
see.
shoot me?
Oh, behind you guys.
Objective Charlie has been neutralized.
Got a guy over here. He's dead. And just to remember, Batman, if all you can do at a certain point is mark, it still helps.
I don't even know what button to mark is.
Q is mine. I don't know what yours is.
There's a lot of people over there.
That there is.
Because if you see your guy like point and call out, that means they're he's marking it. Because that is helpful for all of us, because then it puts it on our map.
Don't find any more over by B. Oh, there's one.
Damn.
Objective Bravo is neutralized.
I've been promoted. Oh, there's somebody here.
Nope. Ignore the ping.
I spotted you see.
Perfect. We attack B. With friend.
There's somebody on C. Not literally.
Nuh-uh. No one's on me. Alright, back
There's
to
an
C.
enemy on the other side. I can't get to him though. I can't turn. Can you
My
swap
fucking
turrets in
ass.
the boat?
Yes. Number keys, if I remember right.
Okay.
Correct.
Good to know.
I don't know if I have a really good use for it right now, though, Barney. Yeah, I know. I see which one you're talking about. I just don't know if I have a good use for it at the moment in time.
Oh! I don't know who I was riding with, but I bailed.
Can I use it on a... Oh, hi.
I'm out of ammo.
How dead? I was about to say that boat.
Got
That
I
that plane should
suppose
be
any of
dead.
you have ammo packs.
What?
I suppose any of you have ammo packs. I'm out of ammo.
I do not.
I got none.
Ammo.
Ow, 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 ow. Didn't see the other boat. Vic comes for another hug. Too late. Trying to find out the guy in the water, but it looks like he was on the other side.
Yep, we got a boat next to us as well.
Damn.
Objective Bravo has been lost.
Oh, that's going down. Rip.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming, swimming.
Boat incoming. Nope, they went away. Alright, I'm gonna go swim across. Got an hour and 45 minutes left, chat. You can always barter if you want.
Hey, Wheelie, by the way, you can keep pointing this missile launcher at things and the missile will actually track.
Ah. Good to know.
I don't even know where I spawned at.
Well, I got one hit in on it.
Ow.
I'm going towards B if anybody is looking for a place
I
to go.
regret everything.
That rude. That was a fair call out. Ow. Apparently that was too shallow. Oh, hi.
I don't even... Oh, little bird.
There's a rib just landed on C. They're finally pushing.
I have eyes on a hostile aircraft. North, where you are?
Got him.
This helicopter does not know where I am. They keep circling. I'm just hiding in a bush. Oh, there's a boat.
Oh, guy in the plane.
Yep.
Well,
Got me.
there's a boat at B. There's a boat getting hit hard at B.
We got another one towards the end of the plane.
I got eyes on an enemy
Oh, he got me.
Don't beach the boat.
I'm just gonna sit here and you can respawn on me. Hopefully.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, the other boat got us.
Spawned.
Yep.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, behind.
Chat, don't forget. There is still crowd control. Oh,
Guy on my body.
hi.
There's a lot of them.
Nah, that's...
So if you'd like to cause chaos, that is an option.
Yes, you did.
Or if you'd like to barter for other things. I hear you both. I don't want to acknowledge you, though.
I spotted an enemy helicopter.
I got a boat.
Oh, this is bad. This is bad.
What's bad?
There's a helicopter that just took off, headed towards D.
There's always a helicopter. That's just kind of battlefield for you.
Objective Bravo has just been neutralized.
It's just how much can you duck and cover from said helicopter?
Yes, we got that one.
I'm on B right now.
Anti-tank personnel have been spotted operating in your west.
B's ours.
Taken objective Bravo.
I'm gonna go head back to C, I guess.
We have a boat going for A.
Objective Bravo has been lost.
Already. So somebody's at B. Ow. Somebody's at C. So there's somebody at B and C.
Oh, I'm leaving A then. I can't do
Pearl
enough
Market
today.
is next? Yes.
Players been spotted down at your location.
Oh, that completely destroyed the boat.
In the face.
I got two. Let's attack boats. That's not fair.
Why did our team get out of the boats that are good at stopping other boats?
Mine got immobilized, and I can't repair it.
That's unfortunate. There's nothing good right now. We are getting swamped.
I got eyes on an enemy boat.
Yeah, but we have a really good lead, so.
Enemy helicopter spotted.
That was a flyover and a half. Jesus.
Going to Alpha.
boarded my way back over to C. Shooting our choppers and birds. Couple of people at sea.
There's an enemy AT soldier east of your location.
I like the idea of... Oh, I can... tap from distance.
As long as you're within the thing around the point on the minimap.
It's just really far. I'm going to try to cover you, Wheatley, but there's a boat. Somebody coming in on your right side.
Go.
They just landed it on the other side. Right there. Dead. Oh, come there. Woo!
Good call.
Somebody at the nose of the bird. Somebody possibly at the back of the bird?
Well, that's an attack boat.
That was concentration.
Listen up. I have eyes on a hostile
I'm gonna move in now.
Objective Charlie is under our
Alright. C is ours again. Did we really lose D behind us? Really?
Obviously.
Alright. Wheatley, I'm turning around. I'm going back to D.
Okay.
God, I'm just running right now. Never mind. Never mind. People are shooting me. I don't know who. Ow. How did... What? I'm pretty sure you took a near sniper bullet to the face and you killed me with a G18 pistol. I have questions. I don't know how that works.
My island is compromised. I must run.
Are we going to drive? Let's bring the boat in to actually cover our troops, please. Let's... Come on. Come on. Thank you. Attack boat is not useful in open waters where there's nothing to shoot for the other three.
Charlie, we have lost control of Objective Charlie. I got eyes on an enemy helicopter.
Gosh dang it.
Ow.
Guy parachuting out from something, shooting us with reactors.
Flares don't help you from machine gun fire.
I spotted an enemy boat.
Gosh dang it. Our team is not as good as vehicles. That's for sure.
No, they're not. Oh, got it. Oh, okay. I got a lot of hits on that, but people were not following through. So what about that lead, C? how's that lead looking?
I mean, we're still in the lead.
By pennies at this point.
Enemy chopper spotted.
Just gotta get some of these points back.
Oh my. Out. Ow. Dang it. They've got boat superiority right now. It's bad.
Oh my gosh, both of their attack boats came over to D, really?
Hell.
Aircraft, I don't aircraft. don't really have anything good for shooting boat traffic. Yeah, we're no longer in the lead anymore. What is hitting us?
Our team isn't defending any points.
Oh my god. Alright, I'm not getting in boats anymore. These guys just keep piloting them into the enemy. The amount of times I've hopped on a boat that is coming from spawn, and they just literally drive it straight to the face of a rocket.
Uh-huh. Hi.
I see.
I'm gonna go to A. Try to see if I can get that back.
That's a beached boat, Wheatley. You can take some pot shots at it.
Where?
Right where our helicopter's shooting at.
I hit it.
Do not get this from above.
Just keep hitting it.
I got him.
Nice. How have we lost every single night? Oh my gosh. Where is the rest of our team?
Oh, they're taking A.
I'm on A. That's us taking it.
No, it was orange.
Oh yeah, no, it already was. Or when I came here because it was
Holy
taken.
Jesus!
Bad choice.
Which
Bad choice.
ways before you cross the rivers?
Wow. Person in the boat just abandoned me after we capped A. Rude.
He's being taken again.
I'm just gonna swim now, I guess.
Gosh dang it.
Damn.
They're boat in the
Boats
water.
are just too good.
I need a mechanic. An enemy boat has been located west.
There's an enemy inside the plane. Don't know where he came from. It's in the split part going around to the left side of the plane.
He's dead.
On the wing.
Yeah,
He's
got
dead.
him.
I had you with sniper cover. I'm getting shot at in the water. That's unfortunate.
Damn.
Dang it. I'm not upset with my KD considering how much I'm doing for just kind of overall presence here. Oh, that's great. All of it quickly lost.
You don't see me. You saw me.
Oh, yeah. I hate that. This is problematic. I can't see what the admin is saying. Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna hope I'm still running. I was still indeed running. Okay. I was doing good on this map too. Truly, Zelda, truly.
I have eyes on an enemy boat west of your location.
What? You can just keep so many people in a boat and just capture points instantly.
Oh, where did you come
Oh.
from?
No,
There's
no.
a toad near me.
Dang it. I got stranded in the middle of the water because of CAPTCHA. Alright, I'm going to A because apparently we're losing that.
Yeah. Ow.
Okay.
Hovercraft
No,
coming
it's
in.
perfect.
Beach.
Dangerous. Oh, that, how, what? Hi. Person in front. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, boy. I need that fast shooting. weapon.
Okay.
Objective Alpha's been neutralized.
They're taking Alpha.
How am I still getting shot?
I've got eyes on a hostile located south of your position.
I got one. I was trying to do things with the M320. All right, somebody else got another kill down there, so it looks like A is neutral. A's going back to us. Good. Yep, A's going back to us. That's good. Oh, goody. We got... I'm getting out of the boat. Seriously. Stop piloting the boat right to death. Please. I was using the wrong weapon. Isn't the weapon I thought I had.
They're actually defending.
Ow. Oh, got killed by the chopper. Was not expecting that one. Yeah, we're definitely losing this one. Just a little bit. Okay, it's going to be a whiteout now. I can see again.
Spotted an enemy helicopter.
Oh!
Man.
Oh, the chopper got me. Dang it. I got a good... the shot on the blades that I had should have taken that chopper down in real life. Like, that
There's
would've
one
been
running
dumb.
at you, Wheatley, right now. It's a
Yep.
pilot. Oh, he's dead.
Nice.
All right, I'm going to get on the boat again just because I... Oh, okay. All right, well, hey, look. Somebody else took it.
I spotted an enemy jet.
Yep.
Man.
Yep. Exactly.
There's just too many vehicles.
I don't like that map because the boats are so OP on that map.
They're okay when I'm pretty sure their spawn rates aren't messed with. But
You think their spawn rate was messed with?
I think they're respawning a bit faster than they were by default in the game, yeah.
That's fair. All
I
right.
also think there's supposed to only be one per side.
It definitely seemed like there was a little
definitely
too
not one per
much.
side. I know the enemy team at least had two at one point, but
Good thing is Pearl Market has plenty of places to hide, so
Mhm.
that'll be a good thing.
Carrying that team.
All right, chat. A little over an hour and 20 minutes left. Get your votes in. Let me see. Where do we sit for... I mean, Repo's closing in. So it's still a chance. It's $130-ish bucks, $160. I'm not doing math right off the top of my head. To put Repo back up close with Minecraft build off. So if you want to see Repo, it's you got to work on it. I'm not doing it for you. I mean, to be honest, there's one that's definitely more preferable for me. Wheatley and C and Fatman are all on the other team. That's great.
Nice.
How do I change teams?
If it lets you...
We just killed General.
Wow. It's in the escape menu. Or squad setup or whatever. Or you can just hunt me. Either way.
I mean,
Or
let's
wait
be
until
fair.
everything gets auto-balanced anyway.
Probably will be, yeah. As the teams kind of stake their claim on kill.
We go, motorcycle man.
Motorcycle Man is almost
Ow.
I hear a spawn beacon already.
That's real early for that.
Okay, I think it's ours.
Oh, hi.
Wheelie, there's health over here.
Thank you.
Objective Echo is neutralized.
Why is none of my squad spawning on me?
Damn.
How do I not kill you with a shot?
Oh.
Chief.
Ethan, kill. Let's go.
I'm dead, Chief. I'm dead. Stop shooting me, Chief.
Oh, hi. Yeah, saw that one coming. None of my team spawned on me, so I was screwed.
You okay?
I'm dead.
Oh.
Came up
Really?
other stairs.
Team setup.
My bad.
Which team?
Oh,
All right.
no.
Join squad. All right, I'm on your squad now.
Nice. Good choice.
I hate that Battlefield doesn't, like, keep you with the people that you joined with. Like, the people that you obviously want to be with.
Yeah. It was broken ever since BF4 launched, pretty much.
I was never going to win that one with that weapon.
Okay, I'm pressing all of the wrong buttons. Okay. Trying to pull out my defib. No,
How was I missing so many shots?
Oh. Oh, that's a big thing. Ow.
Yeah, that's an APC. That's a grenade.
It's a motorcycle.
Behind you, fat man. There's a guy coming.
Yeah, I wasn't doing that one.
It's 2.
I tried, though.
That's 3.
This almost took a rocket to the face.
You know how triggered I am with the blue screens. Blue screens make me so nervous.
Ah.
Nah, not that. We're gonna try.
What is with
Wait
these
on that.
spawns?
Probably. Oh. Say. Didn't get those shots off. Those are terrible shots. At least it's suppression. That works too.
Oh, this.
Wheatley tactics versus general tactics. General sitting with a sniper rifle. Wheatley, RPG in the door. They're still there. Unfortunately.
Objective Bravo has been neutralized.
Oh, well played, well played.
Where
Frags
did
on the
that come
bottom.
from?
They're in the ground. They just chucked it straight up and landed
Ow.
on the roof. That was beautiful. Well played. That's the way to clear the roof.
We have a commander. What?
Really? That's a rare occasion. Alright, I'm at B. There's somebody else here. Oh, I see them.
Eyes on a hostile soldier.
Got him. No, it's my dad. Sorry, Dad.
They took her post.
Spotted an enemy soldier.
Ow.
We had a bunch on E.
Way to finish it off, Wheatley.
Thank you.
I feel like a red flare is dangerous.
Oh.
Oh, that's a lot of explosions.
My gosh!
This is actual. Supply drop complete.
Commander's actually doing supply drops for us.
We've neutralized objective
And I think
Alpha.
called in a missile on E.
Oh, is that what I
supply drop
spawned
on E.
into?
I think so.
I spawned into an explosion into my face, unfortunately, so... Below us, C.
No.
Up on the roof. We got somebody with us.
On E.
Yep. I'm hiding.
I see a friendly. That's it.
Somebody shot a rocket at me, so... Unless a friendly shot a rocket at me.
I see friendlies
Or
over
they
there.
just already killed anyone else.
Maybe.
around. Wheatley's shooting at someone but not pinging anybody, so...
You ping.
I know it's Q on a keyboard, but past that, I don't know.
Yep. To your right. Wheatley. To your right. Never mind.
Stay out, man.
Ow.
You dead?
I'm dead again.
I used his bait.
Thanks.
Supply just came in.
It worked. I got a shot off on him before I died.
died.
I'll take it. I was able to be
There's
of some
another one down below.
assistance. I don't want to be the driver.
There are a bunch down below. There's capping A.
Enemy AT soldier.
Oh, there are more over there.
Objective Alpha has been neutralized.
I'm over on D.
Yeah, there's a bunch around. They're all capping E.
Ow. Not a fast shooting enough weapon. Fast and shoot the English. Brood. 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 Ow, 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 ow. You aired me to a life? I guess?
Sector EMP.
Is that a thing?
Jones been lost.
I got a vehicle headed towards D,
One
I think.
floor down from the top of E.
Oh, I didn't get my second shot off. Vehicle moving through the streets from around D. I've got
Okay, hi.
heavy amount of people watching it. That's all I had,
We're
Carpe.
so focused on E right now, we're losing everything.
Oh,
Okay.
they're on rooftops over there.
They
I
are
don't know where exactly.
everywhere right now. Ow. Oh, cruise missile. So, our commander's doing work.
Indeed.
I saw at least
Ew.
There we
2
got
deaths from that.
C.
Oh, you're dead? That's unfortunate. Why did I spawn so far from D?
No! They got me.
Okay, so D looks safe. I want to get back up on the roofs. Where my gun can do the most.
Objective Bravo is now neutralized.
Got the other APC coming for us.
Ha, what? What the?
Hearing the
There's
team.
a lot on the roofs.
Missile strike inbound. Stand by.
How did that not kill him?
I'm on the
We got people
ground.
going
I
to
don't want to
D.
be on the ground.
Objective Delta has been
Come on, Wheelie.
neutralized.
Give my gun.
We.
It's tough trying to clear that without a fast shooting weapon.
Okay, I did not make
We
the
got
jump.
2 on D.
I blew up a truck by running into it.
Great.
We have 2 Predator drones.
What?
I just saw 2 Predator drones flying around. Commander's really doing work. Behind us and above us or something.
You've just taken Objective Echo.
Got him.
Nice.
Where did you go?
Oh, and I'm dead.
I saw
You're
you.
alive.
So I
If
got
you can repair the APC. Oh, no, too slow.
We have neutralized
Hello?
Objective Delta.
Cool.
Good work, boys. Objective Delta's been taken. Check your maps, boys. Supplies being dropped in.
Where? Saw Mark. Where'd you go?
There's a hostile machine gunner due south where you are.
No. Oh, that's unfortunate. APC moving around.
Yep.
Be a lot moving in the streets.
Oh. Ah.
Check your map. Vehicle just got dropped in.
Okay, you go there. You go there. You go there.
We're already losing Alpha behind
You
us.
Alright.
Really?
I was doing Tetris.
Oh, I missed.
Don't mind me.
Objective Charlie is lost.
Oh, I ran right into that.
Ah. Just trying to do my best clearing that with a very slow shooting weapon again. Trying to go from top cover down is not effective. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Yeah, shooting weapon.
I can't see anything.
Heads up, supplies just got dropped in. Here's your man.
Okay, they're around the corner behind the counter.
Objective Echo is under
Oh, not the time!
Be nice if more of our team was running assault and medics. Oh, well.
Yeah, I just switched, so I have a fast shooting weapon again. I was getting into situations where I was encountering 2 people at a time and I was in fights, so
Oh, I can't jump.
it was well timed, unfortunately. Not that I wanted it to be well timed, but it was.
You're doing okay though.
impact to follow.
From the roofs.
Oh, are you kidding me?
No.
Got a guy down to 9 HP.
I can't jump to save my life. Okay. Felipe, you let me down. Felipe, there's one coming towards you. Oh.
Hi.
Thank you, C.
Yep.
Objective Delta has been neutralized.
Wait, what? Oh. Got me, but I got again.
Oh, got by where? By who?
There was a guy that headshot me.
Check your map for resupply location.
I don't know. I need elevation. I
We
want
are still
elevation.
winning.
Objective Delta.
Yep. Pretty handily so far. They're managing to cap but not hold. Majority of the
Oh,
games.
okay.
How did I not kill him?
You and I got killed by the same person.
I
I'm
put
at
so many
D.
bullets in him. Anya.
Okay. Probably right around the corner here. No?
Yep. In the corner, in the corner, in the corner.
I had a crowd control come up while I was trying to do things.
Timing.
I have math on my screen that made it very difficult to aim.
Objective Bravo has been lost.
Well played on the second count.
You might want to go Alpha instead of Echo. Although we are attacking Alpha.
There. I'm getting rid of their cover up there because they were using that too much. Oh, Metro.
Next map, Operation Metro.
Alright.
Objective Echo has been neutralized.
Move.
What?
That was fast.
We can't leave this spot, people. There's way too many things.
Ow! The stairs that we just came up!
Oh!
Oh! Cruise missile, nice! Nice Angry Birds.
Supply drop executed.
Oh, is that a sniper?
Our commander
Oh my
is doing
God.
work. It's amazing.
Alright, looks like. Oh, nope.
Here, wait, health dropping right on top of you. That was a perfect.
Oh, there it is.
All the way up here.
Thank you.
Right on the corner. No idea where you guys are getting shot from on the roof over there.
They were down the stairs. Assuming you're looking at us.
I just missed.
Oh, this, north.
Damn.
Okay.
West.
I wish I was that accurate and could kill that
West.
fast with my gun.
West. Okay. Oh, I actually learned how to do that one. I paid attention and I figured it out. Oh, it's...
Ow. They're coming up the stairs. There's 3 of them coming up the stairs.
I rocketed them.
There's still more coming up the stairs. They're jumping down and coming up the stairs.
I do want them.
Cleared.
Oh god.
Don't die me yet.
Friendly.
Oh, I'm on the ground. I don't want to be on the ground. boy.
Let's see, where is... Alright. See, I'm going for B.
Thank you.
Thank you for the $100 donation. I'm curious as to what that's going to go for, but I will look at that in a moment.
Where did you come from? You're sitting up on top of the ledge. Okay.
Oops, that's not.
Well, I was chief too. Oh man.
Did you die to Chief?
Yeah, he was sitting on a ledge.
Oh, that's you. God.
Ow. Dead. Woo. More votes to Minecraft build off. Oh, rip. So, if anybody wants repo, you're gonna have to be working real hard for this.
How do I get up here?
Stairs. Always stairs.
I don't know where the stairs are.
Keep searching, you'll find them eventually.
How did I not? It's you had 1 HP. They're up on the second floor at B again.
No. Oh.
Ow.
Down the bottom of the stairs.
Chat, we are 32% of the way to our goal and $425 away from unlocking the puzzle. So if you want the puzzle, this is the time to work for it.
Let me patch you up. Spotted a hostile vehicle north of your location. Enemy TOC just went down.
Just about over.
No longer control objective Echo.
And we move on to Metro. Oh, hi.
Mission Metro.
Hey, I went
So many
positive.
things are happening.
Oh, man. Oh, I'm alive.
I spotted a hostile vehicle east of your location. Supplies just got dropped.
They're dead.
Game.
Oh, no. It won't. I can't. There we go. Oh, okay. Thanks for the revive.
Hey,
I'm
we won.
squeegeeing for the moment.
Yay.
Oh, I'm at the end screen with an accept revive.
Yeah, I revived you.
Hey, I went positive. I'm happy. It's an improvement.
Yeah, I was very happy with that round.
Batman, now you get the fun part. Metro. Welcome to hell.
Is this the subway thing place?
Yep.
Yes.
I feel like the last time we did this, we were there.
Well, Battlefield 3
also
and 4
Battlefield
both.
3 map.
Yeah, they both have it.
Yeah.
This is a nostalgia map. Yeah, we were the only ones with a commander.
Mm-hmm. He was doing work.
Pup, are you still hoping? Pup is over here like, guys, there's still 2 left. There's still treats that I can have. Feed me. He is pacing. He's literally pacing. He's got his ball in his mouth and everything. Like, guys, look, I'm adorable. Someone feed me. I'm the squad leader from which... Oh, we're our squad. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna go engineer for this. Get my Mark 11. Whew. Decaf coffee doesn't give you much for energy. Unfortunate. Oh, we are on the outside. This is unfortunate. I don't like this side. We got the short end of the stick on that one.
Listen up. Just taking control of objective Alpha.
Yeah, fine. You all go in front. I'll go in front with you. To our deaths! Charge. Grenades.
Oh my god, it's already kicking off.
Back into the face.
Nice. Was not prepared for that.
Okay. What?
I'm awake. So obnoxious. Oh, thank God it's over.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Okay.
This might be a bad idea. I'm going for it. He didn't see me.
Falling.
He didn't see me.
You guys are so far back there.
Yeah, I'm Captain C. They about to be pinched. What's this? Ooh, grenade launcher.
We got it.
Technically don't have it yet, but yes.
Taking objective Charlie.
Lol.
Oh.
The ultimate flank.
There's like 17 of them down in the tunnel.
Yep.
Shoot it down.
Somebody's going back towards the upper.
Oh.
Nope. They're just
Hey,
hunting
Captain
for the
C
back.
again.
C has been captured. B. We'll go back to B, I guess.
Yeah, but we got them pretty well trapped.
They're going on A, so I don't know about that.
How are they going for A?
How'd you get me?
Oh boy.
I don't know how to get you C. I don't think I can.
If you're an assault class, I think it's one of your default equipment, I believe, is defibrillator paddles.
Have you seen them, Wheatley?
Gotcha. I
You
don't
have to
think I have
charge.
those. Holy Jesus, that guy just jumped out.
Yup. Misa hurting.
Okay, I'm gonna leave and see if it starts. Yep. So they're still here. Wheatley, somebody's still on A.
Okay.
Oh, I had to reload.
I hear them moving.
Oh, I've been hitting the wrong button whenever you've been reviving me.
Have you been denying
You've
the
been
revive?
denying the revived?
Listen, I didn't see space on the one side. All I saw was right click.
Wheatley, they're in the staircase going up.
Okay.
They're on, when you head back to that, they're on the left side. If Fatman doesn't need any help.
I need all the help.
Someone's upstairs?
Yep.
Multiple are upstairs?
Yes, they are.
All the way up.
Yep, following you up.
Here.
He's on the next floor then. Or he was.
Checking the other staircase.
I'm gonna go down.
Clear up. That was weekly. Okay. Was it body?
They might have fled or dead. Don't know.
I think they're all dead at this point.
Yeah, A is
We'll
not
find out
flashing.
as soon as we leave, but it's not capping, so. Ooh, okay. That was a friendly
What
claymore.
is
Good.
Lexi? What is this? What is this? I don't understand what this is. Why? Why is this?
Oh! There is one back there. I looked and I didn't see anybody. Oh, there's two of them that just spawned over
There's a
there.
bunch back there too. I still can't believe I flanked all the way around to see it.
Oh!
Multiple angles.
I'm gonna die on this staircase. We'll never know that happened.
That's the grenade launcher.
Uh,
That just wiped a bunch of us.
oh, I'm last man
Okay.
standing too. Oh, this is even worse. This is worse. Don't like that it shows you my Discord. Thank God that it's okay. Thank God that the Discord has.
Oh,
names
let
in
me
it.
out of there! Let me out of there now,
I-
please! Thank you, game!
Oh, I'm still alive. How am I alive? I'm not gonna stay alive if I do that.
Health pack?
Nope, that's a grenade.
All keeping each other like revived and. Oh, I wanted it. I wanted to revive.
Damn.
Oh, hi.
Died.
How did I
I
actually
have-
turn around
I
and get
have
that
2
shot?
bullets.
Need to find somebody with ammo.
Behind.
I got a headshot with a grenade launcher?
That's very unfortunate for the person that received that.
Don't want to go in there. That's back at the spawn.
How do I swap?
I'll go
Okay, there we
this
go.
way.
Wait, no. I'm out of ammo on that. I pistol charge these.
Batman, at least take the health.
How do I take it?
Just stand on it.
That's more.
It'll passively. You're healed, so you're good.
Good. Need ammo, though.
You'll see ammo packs in the ground as people dispense them. Ow.
They also show on your minimap.
Yeah, if you see the 3 bullets, that's ammo.
Oh! Let me out! Let me out! Let me out!
Here. Come back and get more health. Ah.
Oh, he's right there at the top of the escalators.
Our entire squad basically is at the top.
Yep.
Oh. Man, I got a decent KD right now going on.
That's the perk of
Really
this. If you get
fast.
set up right, you can do pretty well on this one. Just takes getting set up correctly.
Reload.
Naval escalators behind us.
Oh, I just saw a guy on the back escalators.
Good for me.
I almost revived completely. Oh, he's still down there, and nobody's doing anything about it.
Where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he at?
He's on the left side.
Now,
There are two of them down there.
died to an incendiary. Did not realize it was an incendiary. That's unfortunate. See, you were actually even on KD. That's a rare occasion for you.
There's one on the right, too.
Yeah, I haven't been doing too hot recently.
You need some ice?
He's running up escalators back in the back lobby.
I can't get to a good spot to just sit, and I keep getting shot
Good
by
call out, Batman.
Womp.
Got him.
Another one. Another one up top. He went left side.
Ow. Why are you using a law on personnel? That is against the Geneva Convention. Legitimately, you can't do that.
We got people on the right side door.
Oh, they down the hallway. Right there.
Oh, they actually started capping?
Backlash!
There's so many back there.
Yeah, found him.
Just all the grenade spam now. Where am I?
How did that
Where am
literally kill nobody?
I'm here.
You're deep.
I know, right, Zelda? Did you actually know, true fact, that you will never see the Red Cross emblem in any game? It's actually illegal.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Damn. Behind.
So if
There's
you
a
ever
bunch
see
of them on the back of
a Red Cross in a game,
lobby.
it's gonna get changed
Man, I
eventually.
was reloading.
Oh. I don't know how those I had them dead. Oh, health 33. I see it now.
Ow. That was a good shot. Directly at my feet. Why does this give me something better for this gun?
I'm just gonna stand between these vending machines. Don't mind me.
Tactical light laser sight tribune laser. I don't really care about that. Don't really change anything. Underslung rail is hip fire accuracy. I don't hip fire very often. Yeah, we'll go urban, sure.
There's so many.
Why did I spawn on you?
Enemies bipoded prone at the top of those escalators. It's wild.
Yep. And I spawned in on somebody right at the top of the escalators and died immediately. I regret my decisions.
I spawned. Oh, I just got a squad wipe. Let's go.
Nice.
Get rid of that respawn beacon right there. All right, we're good for a little bit again.
Got an injure, but no kill. Oh.
Dang it.
All right. See? I think you just took a grenade to the back of the head.
Ah.
I was trying to... Oh, no. This is unfortunate. This is... No. I need to... Where's... Oh, rip.
Someone came up the sides path again.
Squeaky, 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 squeaky. All right. I'm alive again.
Oh, I don't want to be here.
Oh, that's you. That's teammates. The lasers scared the crap out of me.
How? What? You had an M320 explode at the back of your head and you took 0 damage? I am confused. Well, Barney, if you feel any better, it looks like even 199 ping is too much. A little insane.
I forgot there's an elevator. A squad just came out of the elevator right on the opposite side of me.
Oh. I don't think I remembered that.
I definitely didn't. Okay, they're all dead.
Kills me the people that are running around with not full health. That are pushing into new areas with not full health.
Health is overrated.
Yeah.
I did not see that. Ooh. Oh, okay. It wasn't even that person that killed me. Okay. Alright. I'll take an assist counts as kill.
It was marked as a high value target.
So how you like an Operation Metro, fat man?
It's not bad.
This is a little less of a chaotic round than it can be.
That's weird. Might switch to Mark 11 now? Now that we're kind of settled. Ow.
By the way, you might not want to spawn on me.
Yep.
I had to warn you.
Yep. A little late for that one. I spawned in with shots into my back immediately. Great. It's great. Highly recommend.
No, that's friendly. Okay. Just trying to watch the minimap so we don't get people behind us.
Yeah, it's clear for the moment. We're good.
Keep running, and running. Where am I being shot from?
Everywhere.
Wait, once you're done shooting, I'm gonna sneak past you.
Okay. Go.
No. They're going up the escalators. They got a couple up.
Oh, behind.
Yep.
Nice.
They got around. Unfortunately, I think I squad wiped us.
No!
On the backside of
me.
Oh, are you kidding me? One came up the side path on the right. He's dead. Never mind.
Oh, I thought I'd switched back to full auto. I was back on single shot. Well, I got some damage on him. Wow, we're already ready to move on to the next map. Jeez. That did not take long.
my gosh, I almost got 4 of them there.
Ooh. All right.
I ended positive. I'm happy.
I ended even. 17-17. I'll take that.
Good, nice.
I landed 5th place.
Actually making progress on ribbons and such. It's rare.
I got a bronze battle pack.
Have a good one, Dad. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully you had fun. Let's double check on. Yeah, Minecraft build off is pretty up there. So I don't know if oh, there come the balls.
Let's go.
Oh no.
Oh, it's so slow.
Oh, we're just gonna move away from that and not look into the bugs. I think this is why they released a new thing. Yeah, here, look at this pup.
Operation Lore.
Yeah. This pup here,
Not my favorite.
he's begging. He's really asking. So if anybody wants to, this pup here. This pup, hi. He's begging.
This map's the bane of my existence.
Yeah, this map is rough.
map?
It's expect to get
Just
shot from the
long-
left
just-
side, front, rear, head, butt.
Well, I mean, is it similar layout to the, like, not layout wise, but like close quarters combat tunnels type stuff?
Yes and no.
It's a little bit more open than Operation
Alright.
Locker, but not much. Just don't go outside unless you want to die to a sniper.
Yep. Every time. The main battle chamber, what is it? C, I think, is a lot of fun though. It's like a spiral staircase of death.
I'm gonna
It's
go
the
die to a
biggest
sniper.
choke point, I think, in any of these games.
Yes. It's a fun choke point though.
And then people will blow out the sides. Someone closed the door on us.
Yeah,
Doesn't
D
do a whole lot of
is
good.
fun because it's double layer, so you can have people fighting on both layers. But I think C is the real chaotic one.
Yep.
Yeah. Panopticon. This one is the chaotic chokehold. Up in the bunker, or up in the pillbox on the left side. Dead. This will be the most fought over point. And the chokehold on the other side will just have rockets and grenades going at it endlessly.
I can't see anything.
I'm lost.
I don't know that I actually want to be up here. I'm dead already.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, there's behind me.
What's real life?
I don't want to be up here.
Oh, and just know if you go through the metal detectors, they will beep. So you want to go through the centers if you don't want it to beep.
No!
That was fortunate.
Okay, I'm just going to sit since I'm last man in spot.
Yeah, good call. We all pushed and it did not go well. Alright, you're good.
I'm just gonna sit in the staircase here.
I think you do have company in staircase, though.
Always.
I mean, that's, you know.
I have a grenade. There's snipers sniping into staircase.
There's people backwards on towards D? That's weird.
Oh, his teammates.
I mean, if they went outside.
Oh, we
yeah.
traded.
Oh, this is an inopportune time for this.
There's a lot of people.
Oh,
on
that's
those detectors.
unfortunate.
There was
Oh.
a lot of people there. Where are we going, C?
Checking that we aren't getting flanked.
Gotcha.
Which I don't think we are.
Now they are. They're on the snow pass. You were just early.
Okay, yeah, I see. Nope, that's not gonna in there. I got just lost a teammate over here.
Oh, this is unfortunate.
We're losing D.
I'm dead, but
We're losing D.
Oh,
Yeah, we are losing D.
I'm playing
we're losing
Tetris.
C.
Sorry. Okay, I'm done with Tetris. How'd I do, Zelda?
Listen up, we are just lost objective Delta.
On the bottom floor. He's got a Saiga shotgun, so he's gonna be a bit released.
More than just on the bottom floor. Oh,
They have
yeah, they're
swarmed
just
us well.
around now.
I mean, Penguin did do it better, yes, but
We had
Penguin
too
also
many
had a
people
game where
focused on trying to
she wasn't
keep C, I
constantly
think.
Nowhere to
distracted.
go in this.
I spotted an enemy machine gunner. Again, needs to be location.
Oh,
Cross C.
behind us! Behind us at the detectors.
God. Yep. I'm not doing well this round. I got all the excuses. Come on now. Have you not seen my Zwift streams? I have excuses galore. We're losing E as well.
Objective Echo is lost. We marked one of our guys as a
Oh.
Oh. Where are we going?
In that room.
Behind.
Oh! She poked out at the last second.
Alright, I will chill. Alright. E should be good. Yeah, E is not capping anymore. Yeah, right there, see? Ow, oh, that's one around. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Called that one wrong.
Oh.
Oh, they're down below,
Reload,
coming up the stairs.
reload. On the stairs coming up by where I died.
Hey, someone actually
I'm
is
not.
reviving. Oh gosh.
Ew.
I'm not doing
I got
good.
revived right in front of an enemy. Yeah, they're all over the basement too. If we can hold D and let our team deal with other points, it's probably our best bet. So many.
Oh, I was not expecting that to be an enemy because I just watched an ally go through. That was weird.
Behind me. They're
Oh my
coming.
gosh.
No.
I need some hail.
I'm
that
missing
help?
every
If I can get
shot.
right
Get-
here,
what
we
am
go.
I stuck on? Hello? Alright, you know what I'm switching to?
Yeah.
I'm switching to a light machine gun. Spray and pray. It's a good map for it.
Oh, behind me. He's assassinating me.
I almost bet you.
Oh my gosh, there's so many.
I got you, see. Okay, that's 2.
Kill.
Oh, they're going for E.
Oh my gosh, there's a whole squad over to the right side behind us.
Oh, cool.
There are paths that I'm apparently not remembering.
Ooh. Got taken out the other way. Alright, well that didn't go well. Ooh.
Okay. Oh, he's up there on those rocks.
Support. Yeah, let's go with that. I don't know why I'm going to carry him.
He's literally just standing still.
That gun did not fire like I anticipated it. I think I need to switch. That was not what I thought it was. I don't think I left the setup the way I wanted it to be.
Man, we got hard countered.
Yep.
This is impressive. Where?
No!
Ooh. They're on the snow outside as well.
Yep. And they now have E.
That's not. It's. Oh. Why?
We're at the point where we're about to be spawn camped.
Oh! Oh, he is down there. Gimme.
Oh my
I forgot
god,
how long
how
it
are
takes
they
to reload.
all over the place? Oh my gosh.
Listen up. We've lost control of objective Alpha.
Oh, behind. They're coming in the door.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. There are too many in front of me too. I keep getting killed by I'm just Noel. Time after time.
They do have 19 kills.
Time after time.
Ooh, our team got back. We got B.
That team.
Yeah. Well, I don't even think an ammo box is going to be worth it in this. Sure. Ooh. Was not paying attention to the correct direction. Yeah, correct direction. English is hard. Jay, you got like 25 minutes left. Get your last donations in to cause mayhem. Tomorrow it looks like we may be doing a Minecraft build-off, so we'll have crowd control as well for that.
I don't know how they got up there.
Don't know if it's worth trying to just hold Alpha or not.
E.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Cover me. I'm erroring. I'm erroring.
Okay, I'm not.
Okay, I'm alive.
Oh, I just got hit by a flood like. I didn't even know but on this map.
Ow. Killed by another one. Not the one I anticipated. Yeah, we definitely not looking too hot on this one. He is at least guarding ours, so that's a place we can try to work on. He is being tapped, but I feel like there's somebody here. Oh, they're right up the door.
Oh.
Gosh dang it. Every time. They're so on top of it as soon as points start getting capped.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. We got E&D then. Cool. I'll take it. That... Okay. Where did a quad bike spawn? I'm
Outside?
questioning things.
Sometimes it's better not pushing things.
Oh, I got
pretty
killed by thick
convinced
glutes.
it
That's appropriate.
Doesn't.
Okay, I don't know. How did he get Wheatley right next to you?
Okay.
No, there's a bunch of them over there. Never
I'll take
mind.
it. Got a couple of good kills there. E's going again. I see who's getting E. How? What? With just an AK-971 and like
What?
2 shots on the body. Okay, all right.
Okay, so that comes from below.
Killed him. Got my payback. I don't like being killed by thick glutes. It makes my swift life pain.
Come on, jump up the. Ow! Oh, that's not a teammate.
I just keep walking into full squads.
There's one going into E.
And
He's on
that's
the bottom.
basically half the enemy team.
I'm just Noel.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm just Noel's fully legit.
Oh, what the? Why does it look like they look down when they jump and they're still shooting forward? That's weird.
Yeah,
That's just
don't.
battlefield
Yeah,
animations
don't
where-
count on where they're looking being the full story.
Also, I can't tell if there's good guys in the hall.
There's a little bit of ping shenanigans happening.
I just fell to my death.
That's a new one.
Map awareness. Above an E.
Oh, he came in the door.
Oh. Friendly.
Get out of here, thick glutes.
I don't know where I'm at. I don't know that I want to be there.
I need ammo.
Where are you?
I'm grabbing some.
I was gonna say, I've got some here.
Oh, behind.
Oh, behind.
No.
Thick glutes is behind you.
I'm afraid
They're
we-
in a hallway.
Yep. I was already dead.
Oh, okay. Well, rip. No.
Gosh, dang it.
Big Blues,
guys
41
are
and
good.
12. Under your spell, 33 and 9. Good lord.
Funny thing is, notice how it's not
There's
doing any
some-
squad balancing?
Server turned it off. Yeah, it turned off.
Big Blues got me again.
It's definitely one of those where I'm like, I'm not fully 100% that it's 100%.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But
Because they're all running like
too obvious that they are.
they're running stock weapons too for the most part.
Okay.
How do we keep having field upgrades get lost? I'm not sure we're getting any.
Nope.
They're just moving so fast and seem to have such ridiculous aim.
Well, I can't stay alive long enough to make more than one kill.
Behind, upstairs again. They're just always from the other direction as well. It's wild.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling like. Is it's like you can never find the direction that they're coming from.
Quad spawns out of nowhere instantly.
Oh, I just got just no again.
Like the fact that you and I are near the top C is not a good indicator with our KD.
Not particularly, no. Okay.
Might get from left.
They're barely even playing the objectives too, which is wild. Like, points-wise, they don't have that many. Okay.
Ow. Took a rock to the face.
Oh. What? Really?
Yeah. I spawned in to watch that sea. That was beautiful.
I couldn't even see it at all. You go outside and it's so bright.
Oh. How
Well,
could you? I guess you
now
may have a thermal.
relegated
or
to
something.
spawn.
Yeah. B. Oh, thanks for the almost respawn. There's two still down there. 3.
Where am I getting shot from?
That's a grenade. Not that it
Oof.
mattered.
That was rough.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a point in starting another match. Because we're definitely not going to finish in time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead and quit. Real quick, look at this pup behind me. Look at this pup. He's so hopeful. Hi.
What's a treat?
He's trying. You're adorable. Yeah, but you don't have to persuade me. I'm not the one you need to persuade. You got to persuade chat. He is a ham. The fun thing is trying to play with him on this floor because he can't get traction. So he can't tug. He tries so hard. He tries so hard. Oh, pup. Alright. I can at least open some battle packs. Not the gambling type of battle packs, for the record. No, I don't want to buy them. I want the ones that I earned.
Are you sure you earned any?
I'm 99% sure. I just have to remember where to get them.
Main menu.
I'm on this battle pack. That looks like a battle pack. Yeah, that would do it.
Yep.
No, all right. Oh, goody. Oh, hey, well, I'll take a medium range sight. A potato grip. Let's see. Boosts, close range, tac light, laser light. Basically, the tac light and the laser light that you never use because they will always get you spotted immediately.
Well,
Rude.
the tac light blinds other people too.
Yeah, but it's such a big giveaway. Like, that's the only thing I don't like about
But
it.
on things like Operation Metro or Locker,
That requires a lot of thought.
you're already
process.
giving away.
Oof, my kills per minute. Okay, not my KD. Kills per minute is 0.6. Oh, that's not terrible. I also play the objective more. I don't know if there's any if it's worth doing anything for the last 12 minutes. Is that punishment? Is that punishment, Wheatley?
Maybe.
I might end a little bit early just because we're not going to get a game in that time period. It's not really a feasible amount of time. Because, I mean, the games are minimum like 25 minutes. Yeah, go to the chatting scene, and I think it's pretty much landslide now. Oh my god, they've actually caught up. Yeah. Yeah, unless somebody before I wake up tomorrow drops about $260. I'm thinking it's a Minecraft build-off tomorrow. I'd be thinking. So. Oh boy. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end it like 10 minutes early. I don't normally end early, but at the same point, I mean, there's no point in continuing with like, hey, let's play 10 minutes and then drop out after 10 minutes is over. It's a little weird. And I know the East Coast crew doesn't really want to stick around for that kind of time. So yeah. Thank you everybody for joining. Oh.
Thank you.
It's time.
Oh. So we're gonna play Are We There Yet, I guess. Okay. All right. Let me is it gonna update? Where
See,
is
what
it?
is your ball doing to that ball?
That's a good question.
I don't exist.
Absolute
here.
domination.
Dominating.
Left side pull. All right. Pull. Where is the pull? Let's see it. Come on. Let's go. Come on, refresh. You can do it. I don't like what's happening in the bottom left. I feel like this is an egregious break of conduct. The poll, C has broken the poll. That's what we're finding out.
Let's go.
Eventually. Eventually. Maybe. What is happening here? Why? Can you load the poll? Ricky! Oh my god. It's dead. It's dead, Jim. Let me go over and I can tell you exactly what we're sitting at. View details. All right. So it is RV There Yet in first with $625. Minecraft Build Off in second with $590. Repo in third, which I truly thought, there it is. Okay, cool. Of course, I was like, go figure. Repo, which I truly thought was going to be the winner, in third at $335, and Ale Until Tavern in fourth with $150. So it's looking like RV There Yet. I mean, it's definitely much closer. It's much easier to overturn it now, but that's a bit of a landslide. $35 could still do it. That is, you're not wrong. Also, first off, thank you very much, C. I appreciate that. You also unlocked the puzzle, so that will be a donation incentive starting tomorrow. I'll figure out when that's going to be. It's probably going to be 6:30, so an hour and a half prior to now for tomorrow. I know that makes a whole lot of sense. I'll put it in Discord and it'll make a lot more sense. So yeah, that unlocks. And I'm just enamored with what's going on in OBS. It's great. This is everything I could have hoped for. I'm sure this is Ricky's goal in life. Also just,
Thank you.
okay. Wheatley, thank you for the 300. And it's back to Minecraft build off.
Wow.
All right. We said
Should have just thrown the weight behind repo.
Wheatley, we said 35, not 300.
Oh. Must have added this extra zero there.
And we're now $625 away from the server dragon fight, so that's pretty cool. Let me refresh this because I don't think the poll is gonna refresh at this point. So yeah, Minecraft build off is now at $890. Sorry, C. I think your RV there yet just got tanked. Seriously, repo still being like way down when that was like everybody put their weight behind repo. I'm kind of shocked. I really thought we were going repo, but
repo would have been number 2 for me. And if I had known something about Wheatley, would you support repo?
Well, I gotta help you somehow.
Oh,
yeah.
I love this. I mean, that's exactly why the poll is there, because I mean, this is yes, yeah. The poll still hasn't come back to life, unfortunately. So yeah, it's $275 to overturn Minecraft build off. So yeah, that's unexpected. I did not see that coming. Oh, hey, look, the poll's here. So we're back to 45% on Minecraft build off, 31% on RV there yet, 17% on repo, and no one wants the cozy chill game. Is what I'm discovering. Is I really, again, why is there always a ball right in front of me? Always. You know what
it's not like there's room for them to go anywhere else now.
Ricky, you need to make this into Suika game. Or Uchiyo Snake. Can't remember the name of it. I feel like this needs to be done.
Oh, yeah.
No, I know Zelda. I know it wouldn't have been. I figured I'd put in the cozy game just in case. There's still crowd control. But I figured I'd put it in there just in case. And there was a little bit of push initially. I mean, $150 is not nothing. But I'm not gonna lie, I truly thought repo was gonna have it. I was not expecting this kind of landslide over here for RV there yet in Minecraft build off. So yeah, that actually gave us a good delay to kind of push us a little bit closer to the end. Cup has given up on life behind me. That's for sure. Just a reminder, you have the trading cards. If you want those will be available. Still effective. Still on the right screen. Yep. Hey, at least crowd control didn't die this time. I'm happy with that. These cards will be available until the end of the month. I won't make the purchase for the cards until then, so we know exactly what's needed. As I mentioned, $50 for the 2, just because they're full art. $250 total donated, you will get holographic. $500 total donated, and you will get
trial version.
I've activated window. That's rude. You know how many videos I see of people that haven't activated windows though? There's actually somebody that usually doesn't activate windows hiding in the corner. I don't know if she realizes I'm talking about her. Zoid stream, I did check. It will happen. I do not know when that will be. I mean, I enjoy doing it, so we'll see. So that'll be a check of when that happens. Yeah. And then tomorrow, unless something magical happens between now and 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, probably gonna be a Minecraft build off tomorrow. Which means Penguin is up on deck too. She doesn't have a choice. You're involved. She's so excited. So very excited. She's vibrating in her chair. Hey, Shep. So yeah, there's that is your stream for tonight. I appreciate everybody. Over $1,000 in one night is pretty good. Pretty good. Don't worry, Fatman. I'm about to head out too. We only do 3-hour streams around here. I'm too old for the 24-hour streams now. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining. What were you gonna say? C? Choose your words carefully. I heard the start of a topic.
I was just laughing.
So yeah, I really appreciate it. We are almost to 50% of our goal, which is awesome. So we will have most likely Minecraft build off tomorrow. There will be a server event at the end of the month. So if anybody wants to get in and build anything in creative, between now and the end of the month is the time to do it. So we can go check things out, or survival, or whatever anybody wants to show. And there's a chance maybe I'll do some Zoid streams in between now and the end of the month. I don't know. So appreciate you all. Thank you to the crew that joined in and made Battlefield a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Even though every game wasn't great. Namely the last one.
Battlefield.
But hey, I mean, I think I saw it was a 2013 game and it still holds up. So not going to complain that we can still play this 13 years later. That hurts. I don't want to say that. I'm leaving now. Thank you everybody for joining, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.